All right, we all ready for this?
Is Mike on?
Yep.
Yay! Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, that was fun.
Awesome.
Yay!
Congrats, everybody.
What
That's
does
awesome.
what does the stop button do?
Wow, did you just launch a network?
Supposedly.
So what was the thing about authorities and the changing there? Because I didn't catch that when you did it.
The protocol says no, you're not allowed to change the authority on one of those core data accounts. So I attempted. We were going to have a setup where the active validator set could be changed by. So the active validator set would only be changeable by the operators, and then things like the Oracle could be changed by the governance committees. But that requires setting up two different authority configurations and having one running one way and the other running the other way, which
Is
is
not
not what the
intuitive.
protocol allows.
Is what?
The protocol does not allow us to change the authority of those data accounts.
Are those data accounts? Is that because you don't have a signature in their book, or
It's a special rule.
Oh, it's a special rule. That sounds special. Do you remember why you did that?
On the theory that those accounts have to do with the mechanics of how the protocol works, so mucking about with them is a potentially bad idea, so we shouldn't be able to muck about with them. Or something along those lines.
Okay.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Do you still think so, or you think?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it can be part of what we relax.
Yeah. Oh. Right now, I am clearing out the testnet validators so that the testnet doesn't collapse when people update their nodes.
Okay. Now, I pinged Bittrex, but I'm not hearing anything back from them. About sending them their tokens if the bridge comes up. I don't know. It looks like the bridge is up if I'm tracking what Anton and Quentin have posted, but
Let me look.
but Bittrex I think is in Europe, and if it's too late over there, then it's
I
gonna
think
be tomorrow.
I think their dev team's in the West Coast. But this is probably not a dev related. Well, maybe they have devs do it. Yeah, they could be asleep.
Well, they could be, or since they kept giving me Pacific time, they may be Pacific time, in which case they just haven't gotten around to looking at the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, Anton's setting up the bridge accounts still.
Okay.
The Accumulate side.
Well, I think I need to run some errands for Halloween and grandkids. I have my phone. I'm not going to be very far. Go ahead.
Oh, I have a thing with my daughter till about 8 o'clock tonight, so I'm headed there now. But if Ethan, if you want me to help out later, I'm available after 8 o'clock, so I can help set some more things up. If you need it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I probably want to do it with the script. Yeah, I need to eat some food and stuff once I'm done with this last part here.
Yeah, and I'm around if you need anything, even if it's just emotional support.
Yeah, we'll be there too, just to hang out with you if you need that. So.
All right.
Well, and I'm still tracking on the phone. You know, did you lock this, or let's see, there's a whole lot of people in here.
No, this is not locked.
Who is G?
Might be an operator.
Could be Raphael from Dynamic Mining.
I mean, it's fine. I'm just looking and seeing who else here, just to see who we're boring to death.
Hey, I never made any pretense about this being an interesting process.
Oh, when you said that it wasn't going to be, that obviously meant that it was, and then you disappointed us.
Look at all those numbers.
They're not numbers; those are magic incantations.
Yeah, well, the magic incantations have worked so far, knock on wood, so thank God for that.
Yeah. So should we be able to query the entries? Should we be able to see the factum entries in?
No.
No.
You can see the hashes, but the actual entries themselves are not there. Because
Yeah,
our
that
system is just not capable of handling that much data.
Well, I don't know if it's not capable, but not within the time frames we wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
And with the current system, of course, 3.7, it might have gotten a lot better.
No, I mean the problem was the snapshot process. When the
Right.
snapshots were that big, everything just didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can load the data later, which is what we
Yeah.
decided to do at the time. And once the data is there, then you'll be able to query all the data.
So once this process is done, we'll be ready for the validators to shut down their nodes. I'll just wait till it's done.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you want me to turn my node back on. Right now it's shut down.
Should be fine. I mean, if your node was going to be the issue, it would have stalled by now.
Okay.
Hey, my computer died. I lost you at the hashes.
At what hashes?
When he said you can't see the entries, but you can see the hashes.
So
And
the hashes for the Factum accounts are there.
in the Genesis block?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the Explorer right now, looking at System Genesis.
Yeah, you're not going to see any data entries. So remember how everything has a Merkle tree, and then the Merkle tree points to transactions?
Yes.
The Merkle tree is there, the transactions are not.
Okay, I'm not even seeing that.
I don't know that the API really knows how to handle that.
I can talk to Anton if that's something we want to display.
It's going to be a bit tricky for him to figure out, because if you say Genesis Factum LDAs that was way more than I needed, but okay. So let's take this random one right here. So if I take this chain and do There's the light data account. If I say chain main, there's entries. If I say transactions, yeah, you don't get anything. Yeah, so the transaction history query does not work. So Anton would need to have some special logic that did something like said, oh, look, that transaction is, there's something, there's history missing or something. There's supposed to be entries, but I'm not getting any entries. And then do a chain get instead. And then you would also have to have different UI because you can't get the list of transactions. So it is possible. It might be more feasible to wait for us to set up data servers and load that information into them.
Yeah, I don't know how important that is to the greater community.
I mean, you're not going to be able to do much with it. The transaction hash, so there's going to be a bunch of hashes, and those transaction hashes will be basically meaningless because they're not going to match the entries because they're accumulate transactions. So there's just going to be a big pile of hashes that don't have a lot of meaning. I mean, I can upload the snapshot somewhere so anybody who wants to see the actual transactions can go look through those snapshots. All right, so I think if we look for that was
Oh, look at all the kitty cats over here. Kitty cats, kitty cats, kitty cats.
okay. So DeFi devs is active. Nobody else is active. Okay. All right. I'll tell the operators.